Welcome back into the Stokastic YouTube channel, guys. My name is Geoff Ulrich, and in this video, we're going to be bringing you a little bit of no house advantage NFL action for Monday Night Football. Yeah, we're at Week 9, end of Week 9, November 7th here. Hey, we're getting close to Christmas, American Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. But in this video, we're going to be talking about New Orleans Saints and the Baltimore Ravens. And look, if you're new to no house advantage, just let me break it down a little bit for you. A couple different ways to play on the site. In this video, we're going to be talking about their pick'em contest. We're creating a prop-based style lineup in those. We're going to assign different values to all the props, and we're going to put them in the contest against a bunch of other players. And today on No House Advantage, there's a 20K guaranteed, 10K to first contest. Guys, there's a lot of money at stake over on this site, and there's overlay in play on a lot of these slates. So if you're new or you're just wondering, you want to check it out, use promo code Stokastic if you're new to No House Advantage. That gives you a $50 match deposit bonus right off the top. Again, some free money to play around with, a great way to build a bankroll. And in this video, I'm just going to give you some suggestions, some ways to perhaps go about making lineups. You know, again, Stokastic.com, we have free projections for No House Advantage up on the site as well. So you can use our projections over on Stokastic.com. You can sign up, again, $50 match deposit bonus by using promo code Stokastic. And there's a couple different ways to play on No House Advantage. There is the Pick'em contest, which we're going to go over in this video. There's also the versus the house contest. You can make your own parlay style multiplier tickets. You can take whichever prop you want. You don't have to listen to me. You can just make your own if you want. But yeah, again, there's a lot of different ways to play on the site. Overlays up there. Big 20K guaranteed contest for tonight, Monday Night Football on No House Advantage. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, enough of that stuff. Let's get to the game. We got New Orleans. We got the Ravens. The Ravens are coming to New Orleans. Saints coming in as, small underdogs here, small home underdogs. Their defense is taking a step up of late, obviously coming off a shutout against the Raiders. Their offense has been surprisingly efficient at moving the ball as well, even with Andy Dalton as quarterback. So interesting game here. Ravens very, very banged up too. Bateman out. Andrews very doubtful to even play. They're on their fourth running back here. So interesting game. Ravens still favored, but we're going to start with New Orleans. We're going to start with Andy Dalton, as I said, the starting quarterback. Now, I actually don't mind the spot for the New Orleans Saints offense. I think it's a good spot for some of their receivers to get off the ground, but we do have a 242.5 passing prop up on No House Advantage for the Pick'em contest on Andy Dalton. I'm going to trust the projections on this one, guys. I'm not going to lie. We have them projected for a pretty solid underplay. This is quite a big total for Andy Dalton. And I think the thing you have to remember is, even though the Saints are underdogs in this game, it's a very close point spread. We're talking just a couple of points here. The Saints are at home. The last game, they gave up 0 points. They do have a strong running game with Alvin Kamara. I know he gets used as a receiver almost as much as a running back, but I really think this is a spot where the Saints could potentially control this game. Even if it does end up as a shootout too, the Saints are still a run-heavy team. We'll probably see Taysom Hill in there at some point running the ball. You know, they'll rotate some running backs in. So Andy Dalton at 242.5, I still think it's a good fade. Even if this game turns into a bit of a shootout, Dalton's going to have to work pretty hard to get there. So let's go under Andy Dalton, 242 passing yards to start. I think that's a good one. Again, going to lean on these Stokastic projections here. Let's stick with the Saints, because even though, again, I'm not super bullish on Andy Dalton putting up big yards, and I think that's fine. I think that's a pretty fair thing to do regardless of the game. I do like Chris Olave in the spot a lot. And Chris Olave is a 4.5 reception prop up here. I'm going to go over that. You could definitely go over the receiving total here. Olave is a big play machine. He's been getting a lot of air yards, a lot of downfield targets this year. I think he's in a great spot against the Baltimore Ravens secondary here. Ravens secondary allowed the fourth most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. They just allow a lot of receptions. They're just not good at breaking up passes. Chris Olave going to put these older corners kind of in their place, I think, tonight. 4.5 receptions. Let's go over that. Again, a strong projection play, but this is really just a matchup that I like as well. I want to play the Olave overs. Olave overs. I could start a law firm or something in this game as well. It's just a good matchup. Again, Baltimore corners not really in a good spot here, in my opinion. Olave, just a big time receiver. I think Dalton will probably look his way quite a few. I have him projected for over 7 targets here. I think it's a good over spot for Chris Olave. Let's make that our second one. We'll pair him with Dalton. Again, the two don't correlate a lot, but again, we're going to go receptions instead of yards for Olave. And I do think that Olave is going to end up with a big share of the team target share anyways. So I'm not too worried about it. I think it's a strong over. Let's go to the Baltimore Ravens side of the ball. As I mentioned off the top, there are a ton of injuries on the Baltimore Ravens right now. So Lamar Jackson coming out here. He's got Devin Duvernay as his number one wide receiver target. Isaiah Likely is going to be likely to be the starting tight end with Mark Andrews out or doubtful right now as well. He's not confirmed out, but he's doesn't look good for Mark Andrews. So Lamar Jackson, a 224.5 passing yardage prop here on No House Advantage. Again, going to lean on the projections. We have this as a pretty strong under as well. And I think it makes too much sense. Again, the Saints pass defense, it definitely was bad to start the year. But most of the years, we've seen the Saints go through bad stretches where they just allow a ton of yards. They tend to tighten up in the second half of the year. I think you may see that again tonight. This is a really tough spot for Lamar Jackson on the road. The Saints do have some players back there in the secondary who are good. They just haven't got it together this year. I think you'll see them tighten up again. I think you're really going to see the Saints try and force Lamar Jackson to beat them with his legs, which isn't necessarily that good a prospect either because the Saints defensive line is still good. So Lamar Jackson under 224.5 passing yards. I like this prop. I think we're going to stick with it. Anything over 220 for Lamar Jackson tonight seems like a big total. He's only got Devin Duvernay out there to throw to. Likely could pop up maybe as a red zone, but he's not going to get us a ton of yards. I don't even know who they're starting at running back. I mean, that's a lie. I do know because I'm going to talk about him next. But again, there's just not that many playmakers out there for Lamar Jackson to throw the ball to. None of those cheap after the catch yards. Let's go under 224.5 passing yards for Lamar Jackson this game. Makes too much sense. Okay, I mentioned the running back. I do know who's starting at running back for the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be Kenyan Drake out there. And this is one prop where this is kind of a free square. I'm not going to lie. Kenyan Drake has a 40.5 rushing total up right now on No House Advantage. He's likely to be, get a fair share of the workload right now, just with the injury situation with the Ravens backfield. Kenyan Drake, he's really doesn't look that good to me out there, but he's getting a big share of the workload. He's in an offense where the other team, the opposing defense, always has to worry about Lamar Jackson taking off with the ball on those RPOs. So Kenyan Drake, we have this projected as a very easy over. Now, if you want to take a really hard stance, and this is where the strategy comes into play on the Pick'em contest, on No House Advantage, everyone's going to be taking the over on Kenyan Drake. This isn't a big secret. If you look around the industry, Kenyan Drake's rushing total props probably a lot bigger than 40.5 rushing yards this week. But again, we have him projected as a very good over, which means a lot of people are going to be on the over. If you wanted to take a bit of a contrarian lineup, taking the under on Drake would be interesting as well. But again, if you're just looking for that free play, that just put him in your high up spot in the lineup and then go down, that's fine. Take the over on Kenyan Drake. I think that's a smart play. Maybe make one contrarian lineup where you take the under as well as a little bit of a hedge. But Kenyan Drake in a good spot to get a bunch of carries. It's not the greatest matchup, but we just have such a low prop here that he's probably going to get there anyways. So let's do a quick recap here, guys. I mean, this is going to be an interesting game. Injuries on both sides of the ball. We're going to go under Andy Dalton, 242.5 passing yards. Again, just a little bit too big of a prop for me. I am kind of bullish on the Saints offense here, but that's a big prop for Dalton. We're going to go over Chris Olave, though, 4.5 receptions. I think that one's absolutely fine. Great matchup for him. We're going to go under Lamar Jackson, 224.5 passing yards. And then we're going to go over Kenyan Drake, 40.5 rush yards. We'll just take the free square. Again, unless you want to make that one kind of contrarian lineup go against the field. Just a reminder, guys, you can use promo code Stokastic if you're new to No House Advantage. You get a $50 match deposit bonus right off the top. Free projections over on Stokastic.com for No House Advantage as well. Smash the like button if you could, guys. Subscribe to the Stokastic YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. Most importantly, have yourselves a great Monday Night Football. I'm Geoff Ulrich. We'll talk to you soon.